Vladimir Putin congratulates President Emmanuel Macron on his re-election and wishes him good health and well-being.
Here's a summary of the article.
The fact remains that almost 42% of French voters who cast a valid ballot supported a far-right party whose roots go back to the collaborationist Vichy regime of World War II. In the 2017 election, that total was 34%, a score which carried over almost exactly to the combined total of the three far-right candidates in the first round of this presidential election 2 weeks ago. As for a deeply divided France, the demography of the vote does broadly sketch a picture of two nations, a well-off, well-educated and successful, pro-Macron, France, and a poorer, less educated and unhappy, pro-Le Pen, France. More than 70% of comfortable or wealthy voters chose a Macron ballot. Almost three-quarters of people with a higher education voted Macron. In terms of the age of voters, the small print of the vote is more complex, and more encouraging. The very youngest voters, the 18 to 24s, if they vote at all, went 6 out of 10 for Macron. Some of the left-wing, third of the electorate will lend their votes to Macron to beat Le Pen.
This post received a score of 18,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Macron should be careful with his beverages.
And Putin should keep watching the sky.
Honestly, if Putin starts killing foreign heads of state, his whole possibly functioning nuclear arsenal will not stop NATO from knocking on his door. Particular NATO member states. Edit typo.
Putin's time is running TF out. He can use his nukes in Ukraine but pretty much anywhere else, and he risks the wrath of almost all of Western Europe and North America. His economy is fucked, and here in the US, as of today, we're not even hiding the fact that we're supplying Ukraine because we want to see his country crippled. Shit's gonna end poorly for them.
Things are up in the air now. He certainly won't back down if threatened with a nuclear strike. Not until the very last minute. So, using that brinksmanship, he can bully and murder. The Russian expat gas moguls and families he had killed in Spain last week were perhaps more a warning to the world than a direct tactical move on his part. This is certainly when things get interesting.
I'm so fucking sick of interesting.
Me, too.
It's funny now, in my head, when I read anything from Russia, I just hear the exact opposite and it always rings truer for some reason.
Exactly. That was a veiled threat. Like mobsters saying, "That's a fine little boy you've got there. Be a shame if anything happened to him."
That's exactly how I read it too. The words, "be a shame if something happened," just popped into my head instantaneously.
Macron should stay away from any balconies.
He should buy his own drinks for at least a week.
And then he should buy everyone else's and poison him for a week, just to be sure.
Wait, why doesn't he just poison himself a little bit every day to build up a tolerance?
I'm pretty sure that won't work for radioactive substances, but the French love nuclear power, so maybe he's immune.
I know it's a normal sign of respect among politicals, but why does it sound so sinister coming from Putin?
It's the good health part. From a guy that regularly poisons rivals, it sounds a bit like a shame if something happened to it thing.
And calling for the assassination of a major NATO leader is right in Russia's playbook. They literally don't care if that will cause all of NATO to roll onto Moscow in 3 days.
While I really don't expect NATO would start to roll on Russia in the case of assassination, I would expect the French would want to.
If the President of the French Republic is assassinated by Russian agents, that's an Article 5 right there.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.